When we talk about learning English, one thing that comes up again and again is self-doubt. That little voice in your head saying, "Are you sure you can do this?" I've seen so many people, even those who are otherwise confident, freeze up when they have to speak in English. Why do you think that happens?
I think it's very natural, yaar. See, English is not our first language for most of us in India. So there's always this fear, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh? And honestly, a lot of it comes from our school days. Maybe a teacher corrected us harshly or someone teased us for our accent. Those memories stick and they become this wall of self-doubt.
You're reminding me of something I heard recently. Self-doubt and fear are learned responses. They're not permanent. If we learnt them, we can unlearn them too. I find that so empowering. But let's get practical. If someone is struggling with self-doubt about their English, what's the first thing they should do?
The first step, I'd say, is to challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, is it really true that I can't speak English? Or is it just a story I'm telling myself? Most of the time, we imagine the worst case scenario. But in reality, people are not judging us as much as we think.
That's so true. I remember when I started my first job, I was terrified to speak up in meetings. I thought, what if I say something wrong? But the moment I actually spoke, I realized no one cared about my grammar. They were just happy I contributed. Sometimes the fear is all in our head.
Exactly. And courage is not about having no fear. It's about deciding that something else is more important. Maybe your dream job or connecting with new people. If you focus on that, the fear starts to shrink.
I love that. So let's talk about action. Because I believe, and research backs this up, that action kills fear. Even a small step, like introducing yourself in English or ordering food at a restaurant, can make a big difference.
Yes, and progress creates confidence. You don't have to give a TED talk on day one. Just start small. Maybe record yourself speaking for 1 minute or join a WhatsApp group where people practice English. Each little step adds up.
And what about the people around us? I've noticed that sometimes friends or even family can be discouraging. Arey, why are you speaking in English? Show off hai kya? How do you deal with that?
That's a tough one, but it's so important. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not those who pull you down. If you can't find them in real life, find them online. There are so many communities now on Telegram, Facebook, even Clubhouse, where people support each other's English journey.
I want to share a quick story. When I started this podcast, I was so nervous. I kept thinking, what if no one listens? What if my accent is too strong? But the moment I hit record, I realized the fear was only in my mind. And now here we are, connecting with thousands of listeners.
That's inspiring, really. And it shows taking the first step is the hardest part. Once you do it, you realize you're capable of much more than you thought.
Let's give our listeners some actionable tips. If you had to pick 3 things someone can do today to overcome self-doubt in English, what would you suggest?
First, challenge your thoughts. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, pause and ask, is it really true? Second, take small actions. Maybe read a paragraph aloud or write a short email in English. Third, seek out positivity. Listen to podcasts, watch motivational videos, or talk to someone who encourages you.
I'd add one more. Celebrate your progress. Even if you just learned 5 new words today, that's a win. Don't wait for perfection. Progress is what matters.
Absolutely. And remember, even the best speakers started somewhere. Every entrepreneur, every leader you admire, they all had doubts, but they acted anyway.
Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone, you are capable, you are worthy, and you are stronger than you think. Fear will always knock on your door, but you get to decide whether to let it in.
Trust your journey. English is just a tool. It doesn't define your intelligence or your worth. Keep moving forward one step at a time.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend who needs a little encouragement. And remember, every day is a new chance to grow.
Stay positive, keep practicing, and don't let self-doubt hold you back. Your best days are ahead.
This is your host signing off. Take care and keep shining.